All right, hello and welcome to That's the Point. We're here with a purpose, and that purpose is to bring you the inside scoop on the latest construction positioning technology. My name is Corey Meyer, and today, well, this is actually kind of exciting. We've changed things up a bit, and today we're joined by a special in-studio guest, Andy Dickey. How's it going, man?
Great, man. Glad to be here.
I'm getting some deja vu. I feel like we've done this before.
I think we've done it before. Yeah, I noticed my picture in the hall there from many years ago.
We don't even want to talk about that.
No.
Few things have generated as much buzz over the past several quarters. And this little guy that's sitting right here, the HP SitePrint. And you're with HP. You were part of the SitePrint team that brought this thing to market. But I think we'd be remiss if we didn't start with a foundational discussion. Why does this product even exist today?
Yeah, HP is a big tree, right? So it's got I would say it's a getting back to the roots, but like what part of the root system would we be going back to with this device? I mean, we have a long history in the construction business, beginning with the earliest total stations and calculators. And
a lot of people today don't even know that you guys were actually the ones that were pioneering a lot of that stuff.
My former boss and somebody you've known for probably most of your life, Charlie Trimble, left HP to start Trimble. So yeah, we've got a lot of overlap with technology and focus and people, and it's very similar actually. I spent 16 years at Trimble, as you know, and the internal workings and the personality of the place is eerily similar.
The DNA really is kind of a match, and when you start thinking it through that lens, the SitePrint just makes sense. Like, it would make sense that you guys would come back to construction.
As happens with many companies, is goals change, priorities change, and most people know us for workstations and consumer goods. And actually, for me, this project has been sort of a coming full circle because I paid my way through college working at CompUSA in high school and college. So I sold HP pavilions and desk jets, hundreds of them, in fact. So it's a full circle thing for HP. It's a full circle thing for me personally, and it's been a labor of love, let's say.
And it has been a labor, even predating you, because I mean, it was how many years ago did this robot actually start on a drawing board?
It started as a prototype maybe 8-9 years ago.
Wow.
It depends on how which one of those things that you count, but it's been a long time, and I think we have a shared personality with the construction business as a company. We are known for making consumer goods, but behind the scenes, so to speak, not financially behind the scenes, but behind the scenes, as most people would know it, we really specialize in doing high-end equipment for people that do work in rough environments, whether that's a print shop or on a job site or.
Yeah, and the industrial trades are really where a lot of the bones are made, right? And this is an extension of that, in that you see a lot of, and we'll get into that, in this episode and later episodes, but this thing really is kind of purpose-built for a job site in a way that a lot of your other equipment is too. You can really see it come out in the design and the execution of this.
Yeah, I mean, we have a way of making things happen, and you know that I've had my whole life. I've had one foot in construction and one foot in technology, and one thing that
you are an engineer by trade.
Yeah, I'm an electrical engineer. So yeah, so it's one of these things where in construction we make things happen. Really, if you had to boil down what you do in construction, is that under difficult circumstances you make things happen, and that's the approach that we've taken to HP SitePrint, and really HP takes to so many things, which is we want feedback from the field. That's great, but what you do with the feedback is what matters, and we tend to have a reputation for jumping on things very quickly, particularly if you look at what this looked like.
That's what I was about to say, was the amount of evolution this has taken in such a short amount of time is simply remarkable. And I mean, it's got to be kind of fun to be on the product side of that, is seeing that evolution and bringing feedback back and actually getting it into the unit, which, I mean, I know even when we started working with you guys on the SitePrint, like, so much has changed, and it's all customer driven. It's all customer feedback to make this a better product.
Well, I can tell you it's different. This is my 4th construction tech startup, and shocked is probably the best way to describe me on most days about how quickly we move.
I love that, and as you work with the HP team on this, you say the word startup, and that is such a key, right? There really is that mentality of, we want to build something, we want to get it to market, and then we want to iterate on it and make it the best that it can be.
And that's something I learned at Trimble. Like, so people, it's a sort of a niche, right? So you've got startups and then you've got established companies, but really our specialty is in between. It's sort of like being in a big company, but also, having the ability to do something.
Right, being able to leverage those resources and everything else.
I don't need my own legal team. I don't need my own ink team. I don't it's all the luxuries and none of the downsides.
So, as this thing sits now, like, what is the why is HP excited? Like, what is this thing doing? How did it come to the construction space? And what are you guys excited about? What is it changing in construction, even in the short time it's been there?
Yeah, so I mean, we all know the term BIM to field, right? And at least the people in this space. And this is really just an extension of that movement, if you will. Like, we were personally involved in the genesis of that movement, and this is just the next evolution.
There was a river that we created, right? And it was a river that hadn't been crossed, in that we were getting all this BIM to field stuff. But you're right, there was a disconnect that was there when it was that final, like, last.
How do you make it real, right? And that's people's passion about BIM tools like Tekla Structures, as a for instance, or SDS2, is that they, from the beginning, have been all about taking the design and making it real by connecting to a CNC machine. This is taking the design and making it real because we're putting it on the floor.
And you can really see how a company like HP could resonate with that, because throughout so much of the history, that's what you guys have been doing, is taking stuff and making it real to someone in the real world.
Yeah, and in a coordinated way, right? So the nice thing about having it all on the floor is that it's all on the floor together, and you can see immediately. So if there's something we missed in coordination, we can see it on the floor.
And I mean, these have to be the easiest conversations you've ever had in your life on a construction desk, when you could just all sit there and stare at the same thing.
It is, and also it's funny because you remember the old software demos in the BIM space. It's like 4-hour demo, you know, a million questions. This is the most boring demo you'll ever see, because you tell someone it does robotic layout, and then it does it.
And when I saw that print button on the cloud thing, it was such a mind shift for me. And then I'm like, no, he's really going out there and laying out with that one print button. And it was familiar and yet revolutionary at the same time.
And 2 minutes in, you're like, okay, all right, let's pack up. You know, it's going very, very fast. Thank you.
But then you guys have also taken the next step where you have that cloud-based technology, you have all that infrastructure in the background. So you really can kind of link everything together, whether it's through the data preparation, everything. You guys have a lot of resources put to that too. So it's not like you're just throwing a printer out there and hoping for the best. Like, you really have created a complete workflow that it's really an easy task to be able to go out there and lay out seamlessly.
Yeah, for sure. And I think if you take a sort of a user-based approach to the design, right? You start with your stakeholders and work backwards, rather than starting with the tool and deciding where it can fit. This is a purpose-built robot. You know, you really have two main categories of robots: platform robots and purpose-built robots. And platform robots are great, but they struggle with things like battery life, because they don't know what the end purpose is going to be. We started with the end user in mind and work backwards, so we know exactly how to make the robot work for everyone doing layout.
Right. It is a unique product, and it's exciting to see it coming. And as we jump into some of these other episodes further on, like, it's gonna be exciting to talk about. But we wanted to get a story of how this product got started. Andy, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down.
My pleasure, anytime.
So, and of course, don't hesitate. Reach out to your local building point, whether it's laser scanners, till stations, GNSS, or honestly, this HP SitePrint right here. We are here to help. And of course, don't forget to smash that subscribe button to stay up to date with the latest tips, tricks, and pointers. Thank you again, Andy.
Hey, thank you for having me.
See you soon. And we'll see you soon next time on That's the Point.